your strength is revealed. May we receive it today. Amen.
Great.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I guess just before we get started, we can just, I see Kim Laurie's here from the probate juvenile court. We had, last we met, we had discussed outside legal counsel for their representation, and over the last week we did, I know last week we had gone ahead and got approval for the one that the court had requested, and we had also instructed the prosecutor to go out and try and get us some proposals or rates from other firms just comparatively, and it looks as though we've received, he sent about 13 out and we got about 4 or 5 in, is that correct?
They got 4 back, 1 was a denial and the other 3.
One was a denial, so, and they were all right around that $300 or $290 an hour range, and Jim Flay, the prosecutor, reviewed those and submitted those to us, is that correct?
Yes.
So, this board had already made the motion to go ahead and approve, I can't think of his first name, but Funk, Stephen Funk, and, which I'm okay to continue that, seeing as that the rate is comparable to the others that were submitted, and those can be provided if anyone wants to look at those. And then, but it still has to go to the prosecutor's office because it is a joint application, and then also on to the court for an order and approval, correct?
Yeah, the prosecutor would send down the application for you to sign, that's what you approved last week, and then that application would then go to the court, and the common police court would.
Okay, so it's the same as, as far as this board, we're okay with Stephen Funk then, and again, that'll move to, through the prosecutor's office where he'll go ahead and sign that and then send it on to the court. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. Is that all right? Any questions or comments or?
Just wondering when. Because it's
well,
been several weeks at this point.
Yeah, right. So I would imagine that I can't speak for the prosecutors as far as expediency on his part, but I would imagine it's as soon as notification is made from this office to his, that I don't know. I can't. It's hard to say how fast the court process would work. I would imagine quickly. I would think so, or hope so at least, on your part. Okay? Great, thank you. Okay, the Commissioner's Office will report on the items approved July 27th, 2020 by the County Administrator, Jerry.
So on July 27th, for Water Resources, approved and executed the Ohio Water Development Authority Fund Payment Request Number 14 for technical services for the Chardon Township Wastewater Treatment Plant and Sewers Project, Henning Road, in the amount of $2,287.18.
Okay. And then we have DD, the roofing system. Okay. Hi, how are you? Good to see you hiding there.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Dave Carlson. I'm the Director of Business Operations for the Board of DD. Thanks for having us here today.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
We are seeking to have you award a contract to Wex Roofing Systems. The roof that we're seeking to do is on the administration building, and it was last done in 1995. Since that time, we've patched and repatched, and over the last several years, it's gotten increasingly worse. We've got leaks all over the building, and we've really pushed this thing to the limit, so it's time to redo it. Last year, we set aside money in our budget specifically for this purpose, and since that time, we've been exploring several options, and we can say with confidence that this is the most cost-effective route that'll also give us the longevity that we seek. Comes with a 20-year warranty. The other options that we considered were EPDM, which is like a membrane-based thing that has seams on it. And then we also looked at modified coal tar, which is the kind of hot coal tar that you put up there with pebbles and things like that. Those quotes were between $850,000 and $980,000, largely because they require a total tear-off, which is much more labor-intensive and as a result more costly. This allows us to take a much more targeted approach. We had an infrared scan completed of the roof where we were able to identify about 20% of the area which has water-damaged roof decking, and we'll be able to do a targeted replacement of those areas, replace only that, then apply a uniform impervious polyurethane spray foam over the entire surface. So we've got a really good watertight, good surface for us there.
Excellent.
And at the cost that it is, being about half of the other solutions, we felt that this was the most prudent route to pursue, so that's why we wanted to bring it before you today.
Excellent, thank you. Do you, just off the top of your head, do you know how old that building is?
The original building, I believe, was built in the 60s.
Really? Okay.
There's portions of it that were built in the 70s, and then there's another portion that was built in the 90s.
So I guess I call it the you know, the workhouse or whatever, you know, down where the companies used to be in there.
Mhm.
Is that newer or is that older?
That is newer.
Newer,
The
okay.
oldest building is this building, the administration building. It's the old school.
Okay, that's the one you're doing the
Correct.
school. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Very good.
How long have you utilized the joint purchasing, the source well?
This is our second project with them. You had approved a paving project about a month and a half ago, I want to say. And it was
For the bus garage?
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. They're just wrapping up that work now.
Yeah. Yeah, is that all done, almost?
Yes, yeah, I believe that they're doing some finishing touches, but they did the expansion in the one area and the repair of the area that was buckled.
So the county owns that and then leases that to West Geauga School District, is that
That's
correct? Yeah. And it sounded, I don't remember the number, but it seemed like we were doing okay on that as far as that
Correct.
lease, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and, because I was, you know, somewhat interested in, because it was always gravel back there, right, before in the past?
I do believe so.
Yeah.
And when it was added, I think that there was some issues that we've now corrected because it was clay underneath.
Mhm.
And so we added some drainage in there now, and so it should be really good.
Okay, great, okay. Very good, well, thank you very much. If we could have a motion on number 2, please?
So moved?
Second.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lund?
Yes. Thank you, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Okay,
Family
Adrian.
Financial, just that contract.
Okay. Okay,
Payments come back
all in
with
one.
a bond,
Gotcha.
so then we want additional.
How are you, Adrian?
I'm good, how are you? I'm
Gotcha.
gonna pull this down
Yeah,
while
that's
I
fine.
talk, so.
Yep, good.
Okay, so today's financials include a cash transfer from the general fund to the sheriff's office for a portion of their 2020 funding for 911 operations. Encumbrances include a formal contract from the Board of DD to West Roofing Systems Incorporated for roof repair and replacement. And then and now encumbrances for JFS for their kinship program payments that were not previously encumbered. Among the vouchers are $12,142 from the auditor's office to Integrity Appraisal Services for a partial payment on the triennial and new construction property valuations update, $147,666.80 from the engineer's office to Bainbridge Township for $54,810.31, Chester Township $59,077.68, and Russell Township for $33,778.81 for their snow and ice removal agreements for this year. $21,985 from JFS to Junction Auto Sales Incorporated for a 2020 Dodge Grand Caravan for the Child Advocacy Center transportation. And the money came from a federal grant for that, although they're trying to work out the bookkeeping for that to get it under the right area.
Gotcha.
So, $29,150.77 from Water Resources to Geauga ADP for their share of service and support for the county's financial system. That's the utilities management portion.
Very good. Okay, any questions? Your motion, please?
So moved?
Second.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lund?
Yes.
Thank you.
All
Thanks,
right,
Adrian.
appreciate it. Okay, engineer,
There's,
do we want to go, we probably should go one at a time, right, or no?
well, there's a couple,
At the beginning. Yeah.
Nick
Hey.
is doing part of it, and then Matt is doing.
I like that math, I
Everything
think
going
math
good.
is good. You got the shirt matching, that's pretty good.
Try sometimes.
Yeah. I guess I try
Sometimes,
Yeah.
not all the time. Item 4 on the agenda is,
That's good.
item 4 on the agenda is requesting permission to advertise to hold a public hearing on the proposed amendment to our standard, the Commissioner's standard specifications and procedures for the design and construction of subdivision roads. The public hearing will be held September 1st, 2020 at 9:15. The last time we updated these standards was in 2014. So the current standards will be including general updates to bring specs to function with current changes to the pavement composition, on residential, in the residential
Mhm.
area. This is all falls from the stem of that public meeting or
So,
the stakeholders meeting we had with the townships to kind of review the specs and come up with what concerns they had. We've
so it's
adapted
just
to
for
that.
subdivision?
It's our standard for subdivision, new
Okay.
subdivision design.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so basically, any road nowadays that will be built in Geauga County, most of them are residential, they'll follow this standards.
Very good. Okay. Any questions, comments?
I make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier? Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Item 5 on the agenda is requesting the board approve and execute the unit price contract with Bill Farms LLC from Columbia Station for the drainage improvements of Russell Road in Russell Township in the amount of $86,762.64. This was already awarded by the commissioners.
Okay. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Item 6 on the agenda is requesting the board approve and execute the unit price contract with Broniak Paving for the asphalt resurfacing of Cades Road sections A through G in Chester and Russell Townships. This again is a project that was already awarded by the board. This is just executing the contract.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Item 7 on the agenda is requesting the board release the maintenance guarantee that was held for the McFarland Wood subdivision Phase 1 in Bainbridge Township. That is the portion off of Savage for Phase 1 and the amount of $23,400. Is it required a one continuous winter season for the final surface of the asphalt, and that was fulfilled last year.
Okay. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Hey, how are you? Good, how are you? Good.
So, moving on, item number 8.
Mm-hmm.
County Engineer's Office requesting the board accept and execute the highway easement from the Geauga County Commissioners and Freeman Miller, Amanda Miller, Dan Miller, and Savannah Miller for the improvements on Bundy'sburg Road, Parkman Township, down to $200.
Is this the, about the, that little bridge?
This is not.
Swine Creek and all that?
So this is related to a culvert project.
Oh, okay,
that we did.
separate,
Yes.
different, okay.
8 through 18
Mhm.
are all Bundy'sburg Road easements for culvert projects. I don't know if you wanna just do them all together. There's
Okay.
4, then for Jug Street, 1 for Russell, Road, and then 1 for Washington Street, and they're all culvert easements, so I don't know how much you wanna.
Okay, and these have all been reviewed by, obviously the engineer, but, do these go to the prosecutor's office or no? For review?
Yes.
Yes.
They're all notarized.
Okay,
and
okay,
all that
Okay.
process has been through
Some of
all
these you've
that.
been working on for years, right?
It dates back a couple of years, yes.
Yes.
okay. Yeah, instead of, going through each individual, each an individual one, why don't we can group them up.
Okay.
Um,
So 8 through 18 are all Bundy'sburg.
Okay.
That's this stick here.
Why don't we have a motion to approve agendas 8 through 18?
I make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner DeWark?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Those are all $200 apiece.
$200 apiece,
Yes.
okay. And then 19?
Through 22 for all Jug Street.
Okay, if we could have a motion for 19 through 22?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner DeWark?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes. And then Russell Township is agenda item 23. If we could have a motion for 23?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner DeWark?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
And that one is for $440.58. And then the
Yeah.
next one is for $1.
For $1 in Auburn Township.
Why so much?
Yeah.
It's on sale that week.
Yeah.
So, number 24.
24, could we have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner DeWark?
Yes.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes. Okay?
All right.
Thank you,
all
sir.
very
Yep,
much.
we'll get all these signed for you here.
Okay, sounds great.
I'm gonna hold off on this, really,
That's
or I'll
fine.
start working on it while you're sitting here.
No, not really.
Okay.
Hey Jessica, how are you?
Good, how are you all?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Beautiful day outside.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay, 2 items on the agenda. The first is a contract modification. At the end of last year, we entered into a contract with Western Reserve to get reimbursement for services we provide for seniors. What we asked for was to be reimbursed for transportation to our senior centers. Well, in March, we closed the senior center, so we have not been able to draw any money from this grant we received. They were kind enough to allow us to modify the grant to allow us reimbursement for services that we have been doing while our senior centers have been closed, and that has been primarily social services, reaching out to our clients, telephone reassurance, and providing home visits. So we're going to be able to receive reimbursement for those services so that we're able to draw our grant funding.
And, you know, just on a different subject, the CARES Act money, I'm sure you've been made aware. How, I would think that your office or, it's had probably quite a bit of impact related to it, right?
Oh, absolutely, and I have to say, we're dealing with the CARES Act and also the Family First Coronavirus Act funding from different aspects. Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging is doing a CARES Act and a Family First Coronavirus Act additional funding.
Oh,
So
really?
we have already submitted proposals for that.
Okay.
We're waiting to hear back from them for more details, and as well as what the county has received. Certainly, I met with Jerry over here and
Yeah.
talked about
Trying to identify.
what we have already
yeah.
spent as we have
Yeah.
continued to operate throughout this pandemic, extra supplies we've had to purchase,
Mhm.
and what we need to do moving forward. So we do have quite a few requests that we are planning to submit by the end of the week.
And as far as, you know, communication with our seniors,
Oh, yes.
what has been the preferred method? I mean, you've been doing it virtually, or do you go personally still and visit, or?
Sure, so what we have been doing, as far as just general communication, we typically would communicate via our monthly newsletter, but as we all know, information changes on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So by the time we're ready to mail it out a month
Oh,
from
yeah.
now, it's pretty null and void.
Yeah.
So we do have an active social media Facebook page where we do up-to-date information. That has worked out very well just for general information. Local newspapers have been wonderful with picking up and running with up-to-date information as well. As far as appointments, we are refraining from walk-in appointments. Unusual circumstances that cannot wait, such as a Medicare enrollment, we will see folks. Typically, we prefer visits in the home, so our social workers and staff are going to home environments. Any kind of contamination and issues, it's better for us to be in control of ourselves and their environment than for someone to come in and we're not sure exactly what everyone is going to touch and come into contact with in our space.
Yeah.
As far as our senior centers, we are doing virtual programming. We are using WebEx. So any our Alzheimer's programs, we are meeting with our caregivers on a regular basis virtually, doing classes with our seniors virtually, and our senior centers are doing general population classes virtually as well.
So, you know, just like, you know, issues with, you know, unidentified, you know, drug use and child abuse, and, you know, there's elderly abuse as well, right? And that's going unidentified, right?
Well, I will have to say our home delivered meals program is a very good program to put eyes on frailer individuals. Oftentimes they're at risk for self-neglect. And that program has been running strong throughout the entire course of the COVID issues. And I will say, Craig's staff with Adult Protective Services and my staff meet weekly, even virtually, to talk about individuals. So we
Oh,
are
good.
staying on top
On
of
top
our
of it,
seniors, yes. And furthermore, our staff, we made a priority list of clients who generally come to our senior centers who we've seen declines on, and we have been reaching out and calling them throughout this to make sure that their needs are being met.
Excellent, yeah, yeah. And then the home delivered meals program, still?
It has
No.
been going
Yeah,
strong.
yeah.
Throughout, I will say, we did lose quite a few volunteers. We have some elderly volunteers ourselves. as well as folks who in
Yeah.
the spring did leave for a warmer climate to vacation away from Ohio. So our staff have been covering quite a bit of the meal routes, so that has
Okay.
changed for us, an increase in mileage and whatnot, but.
Are you still looking for volunteers for that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So maybe the newspapers could put something in the paper that would help you with volunteers, maybe?
Certainly, we can do that. We can let them know what routes we're looking for, whether it's in Chardon or Middlefield or whatnot. We can certainly do that.
That would be great.
Yes.
Is that a growing program, the Meals on Wheels?
Yes, yes. In general, we grow anywhere between, we've seen 20% growth from year to year, just in a normal circumstance. I will say COVID, you have some folks who have some underlying conditions where they do not want to leave their home to go grocery shopping still.
Yeah.
And maybe their meals were going out to restaurants and dining and instead of preparing at home, so they're looking for that home delivered meal as well.
Thank you very much.
Oh, sure.
If we could have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second. Commissioner DeWark?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
And second on the list is, we have a probationary employee, Rita Painter. She took time off without pay and has had 52 days without pay during her probationary period. And in accordance with our policy, we do extend the probationary period for any time someone is on leave without pay. So we wanted to extend her probationary period from July 22nd to September 12th.
Is she, do you think she's planning on coming back, or?
She is back. She reported
Oh,
back
she is?
to work
Oh.
in June.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
But we just wanted to capture that period of time where she wasn't at work and be in
Okay.
accordance with our policy.
Okay.
So
motion?
Second.
Commissioner DeWark?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
All right, well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a great
Yep,
one.
Thanks,
You
Jessica.
too.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What is everyone?
Good.
You want me to keep this up or hold down or?
Whatever you're comfortable with.
You can breathe.
Yeah. So, the first thing we're here for, which is annually, which is just another year where we can be the recipient of the administrative portion of the HEAP grant, so we can actually administer the HEAP program for this upcoming winter crisis program. So that, the administrative portion is just a little bit over $90,000. And so that, again, is to allow us to administer to the program this upcoming winter.
Good. And how do we stand as far as, past, I know there's been talk about, others, thinking of running that or taking that away,
Well,
but we still.
we haven't heard any more of
Yeah.
that. I think Jog County Community Action has, as far as I'm understanding, disbanded, and they were looking at going to Lake County, is my understanding.
Well, yeah, I think they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I don't know if Lake County got any of the other funding that was.
We haven't heard of PEEP
So,
since.
yeah, they,
Yeah.
technically, they did, the state sent the money to Lake County's now.
Yeah. Yeah, technically.
Okay.
But I mean, I think there was, things in the works that were trying to push it over there.
Yeah, but my communications with the department, the Ohio State Department that runs that program, they have no interest in giving that to Lake County.
Okay.
I mean, we've
Good.
been running that program for forever, a long
Good.
time, running it well, received accolades for how we run the program, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
We've been advertising ever since we've had the grant to know that this is where to come.
Mhm.
A lot of people that receive HEAP assistance are also on many of other programs, so it's, might as well keep it a one-stop shop place to
Sure.
come when you're receiving, and the income guidelines are similar to a lot of the other guidelines, so.
Yeah.
it-
I mean, we don't need to have Geauga County residents having to go to Lake County for everything.
Correct.
Right? I mean, it just doesn't make sense,
Right. So, that's our request, and the state is in agreement,
Yeah.
hence why we're here.
Yeah,
So,
very good. Okay, motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner DeWark?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier? Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
And then the second and last one for us, I was here last week asking, for the auditor to certify our renewal. This is, again, JFS is supported, Children's Services is supported by two levies now, a .5 and a .7. We just renewed our .5, and this is our .7 renewal. This is actually a levy that's been around since 2005, existed before the .5 levy, which we put on the ballot in 2016. And again, this is our general operating levy. And so we're asking now that it's been certified, and the estimates, I think, is about bringing about 2.2 million annually have that be put on the ballot this November.
Okay.
So 28 and 29 are both the 28 is the acceptance of
Okay.
the certificate.
Oh, except, yes.
And then the 29 is the actual resolution, which is the second step to actually put it on the ballot.
Okay. Okay, any questions? Comments? None?
Make a motion for,
Second.
Commissioner DeWort?
yes.
Commissioner Spillier? Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much
Greg.
for your
Bye-bye
continued
now.
support. Stay
You
healthy,
bet.
everyone.
Yes.
Okay. Maintenance, Glenn.
No, it's too late.
Too late.
How are
He
you?
doesn't want to do this one anyway, so.
So he's not as enthusiastic about coming up here.
This is
Wow.
not what he wants to do.
If anyone knows Richard Newsom,
I know.
you know this is somewhat a sad day for the county. All the way around. He's well known around the courts, up on the hill, down at the sheriff's office, everywhere. And, he's a great tag team partner. He's great communications and troubleshooting, seriously troubleshooting stuff. He's saved this county a lot of money of troubleshooting and bringing things in-house. It's hard, because he doesn't want anything, he wants to walk out. That's his style. So, I think I'm gonna trump him on that one, a little bit, as much as he's gonna try to trump me back and maybe call off sick that day or something, but, Richard is not a person that looks for rewards or anything of what he does. If you know anything about his past, several years ago, he was in a very, very serious motorcycle accident. And he's back. The same, if not better, than before. So, I personally don't want to be here for this one, but as a director, I have to be here. I'm almost begging you not to approve this. But but I also know that he's into camping. He's doing a lot of camping, and he's ready for retirement and enjoy that life.
How many years was he here?
He got here in 2008.
Okay.
So he came from a factory, Carlisle's. I was very, because he worked on machines and everything, weary about it, especially with the people that he knew at the time. But I'm so glad that we hired him and had him here in the county. Like I said, he is a very, very good troubleshooting, gets into the machines, gets into the ACs, gets into the units, and the whole works. So,
Well, he's in our Rotary Club, Burton Middlefield Rotary.
correct.
And our motto is service above self. And he really, really believes in that. And that's what it shows in his everyday, life.
Correct.
When he did get in the motorcycle accident, we thought we were gonna lose him for, on and off for about a week. And then he did some rehabilitation, it happened in Pennsylvania, I think.
Correct.
And he came to St. Joe's Hospital in Warren, and all of us Rotarians, we went to see him numerous times, and he fought back, and he's, we didn't know if he was gonna walk again or anything else, but he's a fighter, and he come back to work, and he just like, leave me alone, let me do my job, and
Yep,
he doesn't want any pats on the back.
correct.
He's just an all-around good guy.
Yes.
That's great. Well, so, it's, you know, sorry for your loss of a peer and coworker, and, you know, it's gonna be tough to replace, I'm sure, yeah. You know, but, hopefully we can, at least celebrate and thank him for what he's done for us, and like I said, I'm sure he saved this county probably in more ways than one, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
You needed him after hours, you needed him, he was there for you. If you couldn't be physically there, he was there on the phone. So, he's just been a tremendous, tremendous person.
All right. Well, if we could, read number 30, please.
The Maintenance Department is requesting the board accept the retirement resignation of Richard Newsom, Operations Manager, to be effective August 21st, 2020.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Aye. Okay, and 31.
31 is, after being at one of the meetings, this is gonna help us with COVID. These guys have really been, our janitors have really been busting butt.
31, 31 is
You
replaced.
missed- you missed-
Advertising to Rich.
To replace Richard.
Yeah.
I know, you
We didn't let the paint dry under that, did we?
Dry.
Yeah. Just- yeah. Sorry, Richard. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Just kidding.
You have to replace him somehow. Moving on.
Yeah.
No, we can't replace him. No, fill the position.
Right.
So,
So if we could read 31, please.
the Maintenance Department is requesting the board grant permission to advertise for the position of Operations Manager on number 1909, but the position will remain posted until filled.
I'll move.
Second.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Levin?
Aye. Okay, 32.
You're gonna be a wreck when I leave, Jesus.
Need a tissue. No.
Yeah.
Hey, the only thing I can offer you is a mask, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but 32 is, you know, these guys have really been busting butt. We got a lot of OT with them, we're cleaning the lobbies and everything, so with the COVID-19 money, we're gonna get another janitor and help them out a bit.
Very good. Okay, read 32, please.
The Maintenance Department is requesting the board to increase the current posting for the position of Custodian 1, number 1906, from 1 to 2 positions. These positions remain posted until filled.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Levin?
Yes. Very good. Thank you very much.
All right,
Yep.
y'all have a good day.
Yes.
Okay.
Let us know if you're having a little party,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, if you see them around, please
Yeah.
thank them for everything.
Definitely.
Yep.
So.
Thanks.
Get them a cake.
Hello.
Hi.
How are
You say
you?
a cake or a cake?
I'm
Cake.
fine.
Or a keg.
Or
Cake
both.
and beer.
Socially distanced, of course.
Yes, yeah, right.
I'm here for a much less emotional purpose.
Yeah.
Number 33, the Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the Ohio Water Development Authority LGA payment instruction form relating to technical services for the Chardon Township wastewater treatment plant sewer project.
Okay, thank you. Motion, please.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Levin?
Yes.
Thank you.
Cool, thank you.
Excellent,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Okay, and 34,
Is this huge stack right here?
This is
And
the
that's what
EPA.
Frank is for.
Hey Frank, how are you? How's everything?
Well, how about you?
Good.
oh yeah. Look at this. All
Oh,
right.
Frank, what did you do?
Yeah. This is, you know, it's got EPA in the terminology, a lot of documents.
Oh, yeah.
But, this is a good thing in the sense that you gentlemen own the permit here for the MS4 small permit zone, and then permit the 4 township entities to be co-permittees on this, so they don't have to manage their own process, which allows them to utilize a lot of the resources of the county and have a prorated fee schedule, which is very helpful to the township. So it's one of those collaboration things that we all do here that it's kind of boring, and I think most people don't recognize, but actually it's a big deal to these townships. So I know that Bainbridge, Chester, Russell, and now Chardon really appreciate that. And it's time to update the MOU, and this was one of those approaches where we all worked together on, and it took a while through COVID because people couldn't meet, and
sort of pass these around, and I had to be done kind of very creatively this time. But we have that all signed off by the townships, and now we're getting to the point where you gentlemen will sign off to allow the eco permittees outdoor permit.
So this is something new, but how often do you update this?
So this gets updated pretty much when, based on the EPA regulations for that, but you've got the main permit, and then we've got updates on this. This MOU is updated every couple of years or so, based on the responsibilities that all the various entities play into it. So you've got the commissioners, the health district, soil and water, and Carmella at soil and water really drives a lot of this and does, quite honestly, most of the work for it. The rest of us sort of help out or take credit for it. But,
Sure.
So she does the work for that. In this case, we're adding Sheridan Township.
How come, how come it's just the 4 townships? Why isn't the other townships?
They're the ones that are in the MS4 small permit zone area, so they're the ones that have access to the watershed that applies to the Cuyahoga and the Chagrin rivers.
No, so they need not apply for this then, or?
They're required to follow the EPA guidelines for that. You gentlemen have it for the whole county, so they join on to that. So they're the only 2 townships, or 4 townships that need to, based on the permit zone.
I see, okay, okay.
It's essentially our local control over keeping with EPA regulations and then some provisions of the revised code.
Okay. Okay.
Jerry, you have familiarity with this from water's responsibility?
This has been going on for years. This is, stormwater, checking the pipes, making sure that, no dry weather flows. And if there are dry weather flows, you get checked to see, make sure it's not septic, it's discharging into the streams.
Okay, okay.
It's our local control over the watersheds of the Cuyahoga and the Chagrin to ensure that we keep them as clean as possible.
Speaking of that, we used to be a member of the Chagrin River watershed, and I know, right? I think we were.
Chagrin River Watershed Partners.
Used to be.
We haven't been a member in years,
Yeah,
but Soil and Water still has a representative on their board.
yeah. And, I don't know, Ralph, if you remember that at all, but because I talked to one of the township trustees in Bainbridge. I think she was referencing this. This was, I don't know, probably a month or longer ago, and that that she had suggested potentially, trying to, reestablish that relationship with that watershed, that they, do some good things for the county, and we don't necessarily have to be a dues-paying member, but as long as that we're, on the same page with them. I know this might be different than what we're talking about here, but I thought I'd bring it up. And I don't know. Do you remember the circumstances behind that at all, or?
I don't recall.
No. Okay. I mean, I'll look into it. I know that was probably a while back, but I think it was the county may have been.
I want to say
paying.
that was probably like 8 to 10 years ago that we went out of that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think I don't recall exactly the reason for it, but I think it was just a determination that the county in general didn't receive a good benefit. But if the townships wanted to be part of it, then the townships should be the ones
I see.
being part of that rather than the whole county.
Okay.
Because it's, it was just, I mean, even though they'll help you with things outside the Chagrin River watershed, but,
Yeah.
it's still the Chagrin River watershed.
I'll talk.
so
It was
really
Christine O'Brien
smaller
was. I think she may be. Has been involved with them on some different things, and she had just recommended or suggested that we, reestablish that relationship, or just, look into it. So I'll circle back and.
We do keep in general contact with them. They
Yeah.
send us stuff and when they're having something come up, and, occasionally either I or somebody from Water Resources will, maybe somebody in the engineer's office will go to a meeting here or there
I
depending
see.
on what they're gonna talk about.
Okay. Okay.
We're just not an official member, dues paying member.
Gotcha.
Right, yeah.
Yep. Thank you very much.
I'll make that motion.
Yep. Second.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Hey,
All
thank
right.
you. It's good seeing you, Frank.
Okay, just as a quick follow-up on the first item that we went through.
Yep.
I did text Jim, and Jim Clay's prosecutor, and he's gonna send the application down.
Oh, good. Okay, so he'll get that moving along. I see Kim left, but I'm sure they'll be satisfied and happy to hear that. And
You will need to sign the application.
Who, I will?
Yes, you have, they authorize you to sign the application,
Yeah.
the joint
All approved
application
last
between you and Jim.
Yes, right.
And
But
then-
that'll be, what, after it goes to the, to court, or to
No, you
the
have to sign it,
judge?
and then it goes to the judge.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll-
It's signed by both of you, and then it goes, he files it with the county clerk.
I'll be available whenever, so. And then any other business, nothing too earth shattering coming up here?
No, they did miss planning commission on the 11th, so.
Yes.
7:30, so I'll make sure they have that.
Yep. And we'll be back here, regular session on next Tuesday. Okay, very good. All right, any questions, comments, anything? Nothing? Okay, very good. Motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second. Vote yes.
Aye, aye,
There
aye.
you go.
I think Ron's, is he pulling in now?
He just folded it.
Okay.
Chris, so is there planning commission on Tuesday or
Yes,
not? There
it's
is.
the 11th, it's the second,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
the second
yeah,
week,
yeah.
so it's the
Oh,
11th,
boy.
so we're good.
Thank you, yeah, we're cool.